Saying that I'm excited for Donkey Kong Bananza is a serious understatement. After playing the demo in a Target near me, I actually found it to be literally the most addicting game of all time. The 15 minutes that they give you is truly not anywhere near enough because I want to keep playing so bad. I mean, I played through the demo like 5 times. That's how interested I am into this game. But something else I'm actually very interested in is the story. And the story to either a Mario or even a Donkey Kong game or any Mario Universe game really doesn't sound that interesting because Mario's never really had an intriguing story. Nintendo's always about gameplay first, story eighth. Like, it's seriously always the last thing they think about with their games. But I feel like Donkey Kong Bananza is actually going to have a pretty incredible story. But I'm not here just to talk about the story today. Instead, I'm here to talk about the main villain. Because yes, we know the villains are Void Co. But to what extent? Is there a secret villain? Is there a secret with Void Kong himself, leader of Void Co? And what's truly waiting for the entire gang at the core? But first, I want to thank today's sponsor, Encore. Encore is like the eBay for video games, where anyone can sell their games and game consoles. Now, what makes Encore so interesting is that people can actually post videos of their products that they're selling, kind of informing the buyer of what it is, showing footage of maybe even the game that they're selling as well, so that way you know what you're buying. All you have to do is go to the app and search what you're looking for. Like, for instance, I'm searching Nintendo Switch and getting tons of Nintendo Switch games and Nintendo items as well. Like right here, someone's selling Luigi's Mansion 2 for just $45. You can even search in the auctions category to make a live bid for something and get an even better deal, like these Luigi socks. So this gives you multiple ways to get the best deal possible. It's totally up to you if you want an item that has a fixed price or going up in auction. Did I also mention that the app has giveaways that are completely free to enter? You don't even have to pay for shipping. Encore covers all of that. Right now, you can enter for a chance to win a free copy of Smash Ultimate. You can even find me by searching the name Nin10doland. Use the link down below to download Encore today and start winning deals on video games and consoles of your choice. And huge thanks to Encore for sponsoring today's video. So who are the main villains of Donkey Kong Bananza? You might be like, okay, obviously it's Void Kong. They even showed a special little part of the trailer for them. You know, you got Grumpy Kong, Poppy Kong, and of course the leader, Void Kong. But there's something up with this group, and a lot of people online have also pointed this out. Once again, I will be referencing a lot of information that none other than Uncle Al on YouTube has brought up. He is all over this King K. Rool theory thing and the Kremlings and just this game in general. If you love Donkey Kong, definitely check out his channel. I mean, he's got it all covered for you. But a very popular online theory right now is that Void Kong is none other than King K. Rool. Yeah, it's a strange theory, but there's a little merit to it. Now, I'm saying right now I don't believe this to be true, but I do think there's some reasons to believe this. Void Kong does share some slight similarities to King K. Rool. K. Rool is known for his gold accessories, like his crown, wrist bracelets, and his gold-plated stomach and chest area. Well, Void Kong also has golden teeth, which could just be grills, and also a golden vest with a golden chain on it. Not to mention golden banana earrings and even a golden banana phone. Shoot, even his eyes are golden, which might mean he has a liver problem, but yeah, I mean, they're really golden. And his big, bulgy, veiny eyes also remind us of K. Rool's one big, veiny eye. And even some people have pointed out that the inside of his cape is red, very similar to K. Rool's cape. But then on the artwork, it doesn't look red at all. It looks more pink and purple, so it might just be an in-game thing versus a render, so that could just be, you know, not really what it's supposed to look like. But why would this be K. Rool? And why would it even make sense for this to be K. Rool? Like, why is he a little monkey in this game? Well, deception. Void Kong seems to be some type of magical Kong, and he has lots of devices, including this banana phone that's able to do some incredible things. For one, this little phone in his hand seems to be a lot more powerful than we ever thought. There seems to be some type of purple crystal on the inside that's able to summon things and make things appear. You can even see little shapes and symbols come out of it from his official artwork, and you can see those same shapes and symbols all over his robe, and it's probably the very same reason why we have a purple rock known as Odd Rock, which is actually Pauline trapped inside this thing in the beginning. I mean, you can see a Void Co banner wrapped all the way around the rock, so clearly this is a curse that was put on Pauline, probably from Void Kong. So if he's able to transform a little girl into a rock and also warp in a giant meteorite in order to crush it into Ingot Isle, smashing it into the ground, then is it that far-fetched to think that maybe he himself isn't actually who he says he is? Instead of Void Kong, he could actually be someone else entirely, like King K. Rool? I mean, we know that the void is nothingness, emptiness. So is he nothing Kong? Is he some type of mischievous liar? Is this actually Krule that's transformed himself for a devious reason? I mean, Krule has always been about trickery. In fact, he's probably one of the few trickery antagonists in all of Nintendo. He's not just always about brute force and bringing in a whole army to take control. Instead, he sneaks his way in, and he uses mischievous trickery in order to gain an edge on his opponents in the Kongs. For instance, take the end of Donkey Kong Country 1, where he acts like he's dead, but instead he hops back up in order to keep fighting. Or when he's playing dress up and changing his whole persona, like Captain Krule, where he's a pirate at the end of Donkey Kong Country 2 with a giant musket. Or what about Baron K. Rulenstein, where he used this robot he created called Chaos, that's with a K of course, that was secretly hiding Donkey Kong and Diddy Kong, just to find out that the entire time, King Krule was pulling the strings behind the curtain. Literally, look at his feet. Where in this role, he acted like a Frankenstein monster creator. Or in Donkey Kong 64, where he decided to be a pro boxer for some reason. So what if he's about his trickery again and wants to fool everybody by becoming a small monkey, creating his own company and having other monkeys work for him, like Grumpy Kong and Poppy Kong? In fact, the other two Kongs, being Grumpy and Poppy, don't even look evil. They look like they're just there to work for Void, and sometimes even annoyed by him. And visually speaking, they look more like the Kongs that we're used to. I mean, if you look at all the Kongs throughout the Donkey Kong series, they all have very similar eyes and facial structure. Not to mention, even the Kongs in Donkey Kong Jungle Beat, they might have darker, glowing eyes, but at the same time, they still have very similar face and eye structure. Where Void Kong just looks completely different from the rest, just big, beady, yellow, bulbous eyes. Now, let's not confirm yet that this is King Krule at all. Of course, this is just a theory. Now, let's just say if this is King Krule, what's the goal here? We know the goal of this game is to reach the core, to reach the Banandium root, because apparently your greatest wish can be granted here. So obviously, Donkey Kong and Pauline are trying to reach this in order to get back to the surface, and Void Co is trying to reach this for some reason. But what's the reason? Do they want to make a wish to grant for more Banandium gems, like as much as they can handle? Because why else would they appear above Ingot Isle in the first place, the place where Donkey Kong and the other apes were mining for these gems in the first place? Why else would they be here? It has to have something to do with the bananas. Also, if you look at Void Kong, he seems to be obsessed with bananas, from his earrings to his banana phone and even his banana hovercraft thing that he rides around on. So maybe this is a way for him to get his hands on as many bananas as he can, but that doesn't mean that he can't be a Kremling just because he likes bananas. In fact, King Krule literally is always stealing Donkey Kong's bananas. In fact, the whole story of Donkey Kong Country in the very beginning of the game is about how Donkey Kong had his bananas stolen by the Kremlings in King Krule, and he needs to get them back. But it doesn't have to be King Krule. I mean, we've even seen the Tiki tribe steal all the bananas in order to use them for their own mind-warping purposes. But what if that's what Void Kong promised Poppy and Grumpy for working for him? They get unlimited Banandium gems or something. Or promised them that they would both get their own wishes once they reach the root at the core. But what he wants to wish for is something a lot more crazier. The return of the Kremlings, because it seems like the Kremlings have been dead for the most part. Outside of a couple spin-off appearances like Mario Super Sluggers, they haven't appeared in a mainline game since like Donkey Kong 64. So what if this was a way for Void Kong to resurrect the Kremlings? Whether he be King Krule or not, maybe he has a reason for resurrecting them. I mean, it's pretty strange to me how there's this whole group of crocodile enemies called the Crocoids. Like, where do they even come from? What's the even point of them being here? But they seem to all be working for Void. I mean, even before he starts drilling into the earth with his giant meteorite into Ingot Isle, he has these Crocoid enemies actually right beside him. Like, how does he have an army of Crocoid skeletal enemies that were all apparently underneath the ground before he even went underneath the ground yet? But it also seems like he might be able to create them for some reason. Check out this little Void Kong shaped device that seems to be used to start a boss battle. It might be able to spawn in a Crocoid enemy or a boss. Or what about this scene, where Grumpy Kong has a giant pile of rubble behind him, and he tries to craft it in order to look like a giant crocodile machine. He's only able to bring it to life with the golden skeletal remains of the croc that's underneath. And the only way that he can do that is by using one of these Void Kong devices with his head all over it. Not to mention, like we said, Krule and Void Kong love their gold. And if you look at the Crocoid enemies, their skeletal remains are always covered in gold. There's even gold spewing out the top of this crocodile construction. So what I'm getting at here is not only does Void Kong command this army of Crocoids, or what could be dead Kremlings, instead he actually can create them So how does an average monkey have the power to create Kremlings or Crocoids in this game? Like I said, unless this is King K. Rool and he has the power in order to do so. Or this might not feature King K. Rool, at least at the beginning at all. Once again, the journey is to get to the core, which is the center of the Earth. So I wouldn't be surprised if they decide to go the movie depiction route, like movies like Journey to the Center of the Earth or even Kong, where eventually they reach this giant subterranean world down there, where there's like, you know, dinosaurs, T-Rex, pterodactyls, and all types of other crazy creatures. Maybe waiting for us down there on his throne is King K. Rool, or maybe this whole time that he's actually been mind controlling Void Kong or something in order to get them down here in order to rescue him. Why would he be down here? I have absolutely no clue. Or maybe there's some other type of entity down here the entire time. I mean, the whole game is about elders, correct? What if the final area is about the Kremlings still, but it doesn't feature King K. Rool himself, rather his ancestors, like the great elder of the Kremlings? I am totally expecting there to be more than just the 3 elders that we've seen so far, like the Kong one, the zebra, and also the ostrich. I feel like there might be other animals ones that are representative of other animal buddies, like maybe, you know, one that based off of Ungard, like a swordfish one, or some type of just underwater creature, a hippo, the giraffe. I mean, there's a lot of other animals that they could go with here, and I feel like not having a crocodile one would just be a huge missed opportunity. Could you imagine how cool and eerie that would be? We were all expecting King K. Rool, but we got the elder of King K. Rool, like his great-great-great-grandfather or something. That would be so awesome, and maybe King K. Rool could appear as a special guest towards the very end of the game, or maybe even a secret boss fight, but I think I'd rather have that, and then that's how the Kremlings come back. I think that'd be awesome. And for that entire sub-level, there's Kremlings everywhere, and they're not talkable, fun NPCs. Like, they're all trying to kill Donkey Kong down there. Like all the other ones, like for instance, you can talk and hang out with the zebras and the ostriches and even the monkeys, but not in this sub-level. All the enemies, which are the crocodiles, are trying to actively pursue Donkey Kong and take him out. And what if they pull a Mario Odyssey or even a Metroid Dread, where at the very end of the game where Mario was able to turn into Bowser and where Samus was able to get her Metroid powers, we see Donkey Kong actually turn into a crocodile Kremling form, where maybe we had to defeat the Elder in order to gain this power, and then we can use this very power in order to fight King K. Rool with it. Oh my gosh, that would be so awesome. I know I'm hyping myself up for inevitable failure like always, but come on, you gotta admit that would be a crazy ending to the game. But no matter what happens, I extremely doubt that Void Co. is the big bad for the entire course of the game. Whether we see who the big bad is halfway through, or whether they decide to instead wait to the very end of the game, I think we're gonna have a Kirby moment, like in Kirby games where there's always a true antagonist at the very end that we find out that was pulling the strings all along. I really hope there's a situation like this in the game, whether Void Kong really is King K. Rool or working in cahoots with King K. Rool, or there's some type of connection to the Kremlings. I'm really excited to see how the game plays out at the very end with its story and with its final boss. But let me know in the comments down below what you think about these crazy theories. Do you think the main antagonist is actually King K. Rool or somebody else entirely, or do you think it's just Void Co.? Let me know what you think. Make sure to leave a like and subscribe before you head out, and like always, I hope you all have a blessed day, and I'll see you all on the next one. See you guys.